This is a big issue. I have a question. I think first of all, we've over-politicized this situation. Our country has a history of people, of mentally ill people, getting a hold of guns. This happened, in fact, I didn't look it up, it just struck me, at a McDonald's when a guy in San Diego, and this was maybe in the 80s, must have killed 30 people.
Right.
Why does this happen in our country so frequently? We have political people poo-pooing each other, trying to blame it on Sarah Palin or on somebody else, and that's wrong, and it's a disservice to the people who have been hurt. It comes a lot to our gun laws, and why are we allowing somebody like this to get a gun license? And maybe along with a license you should take a test, because it doesn't seem like this guy would be capable of passing the most rudimentary psychological test. The other thing I think that we do is wrong is we're always placing our moral system and our belief system on other people and go, oh my God, I wouldn't do a thing like this. Nobody, my son. Well, of course you wouldn't. You know, we have an extreme person here who is completely out of the rest of the population, and we should address it accordingly and deal with how and why he got this gun and what could be done to stop that in the future. And well, as crazy as he may be, he wouldn't have been able to do much until he got hold of a gun, and he had a Glock with a 33-round clip in it. And that's what, you know, everybody's addressing. Let's blame it on Sarah Palin. Let's blame it on somebody else. And I mean, that's a whole part of the intolerance right now in our country. You know, the Bloods and the Crips are two violent gangs in L.A., but they have peace sit-downs, and they get together and they work things out. My God, I mean, you know, we have such a stratification of our political parties at times, and it's really tragic, and it kind of spits on something like this when some people are murdered and maimed.
Rob, one of the things that I was a reporter on deck on Sunday, and that's when we first started getting the reports about the Pima Community College teacher who had voiced concerns, and we first started hearing about that. We started seeing the emails from the concerned students, and the thing that has struck everybody now in these last few days, that the teacher who was so concerned about him, who was scared to turn his back on him to write on the chalkboard, said that he went to the Pima Community College authorities several times and said, this guy's a problem, he's scaring people, he's laughing maniacally in the classroom, he won't settle down, he's blurting out stuff, there's something.
I think we're over-politicizing everything, just with regard to this case. And a lot of it's not a simple thing, it's complex. We have so many news venues and news 24/7 that I think politicians feel that they have to get up and pontificate constantly. And they often just beat something to death, whether it be some simplistic thing or a huge tragedy. It's the same phenomena. And I don't understand why they don't let it go. I think there's also another issue with all of this is we have politicians and people alike with really powerfully strong opinions and very little knowledge to back it up. And therein lies a huge problem. I don't even understand what Peter King's talking about. How are we going to keep people away from politicians at a certain length? Are we going to just deduce that they're carrying weapons, or were they going to walk through metal detectors when they enter a mall? I mean, it just, I'd like to read more about this, but it just sounds like posturing and attention-grabbing headline getting for a politician. I just got an email from one of my website contributors, Andy from Wisconsin, and he said, let's take a deep breath, calm down, and look at the situation rationally.
Right.
What really happened? What can we do about this? Let's not start pointing fingers at people and spin our wheels unnecessarily.
How long?
Look, I agree with you there, and I believe in the right to bear arms. I also believe that we can do things, as I said earlier. There has to be some rudimentary test you can give somebody before you easily give them a license. Obviously, I don't think this guy would have passed it.